Good evening and welcome. I'm Rick Novak from 36 Nason Hill Road and Caucus 2024 Committee Chair. We'll try to get you out of here in about an hour, but we have some votes, so it might not be quite that fast. As always, Town Caucus does not appear by magic. There's a long list of supporters and volunteers to thank. Please hold your applause to the end so that we can thank them on a collective basis. We thank Ernie Garno, Corrine Whitaker, and the Sherborn Community Center Foundation for the generous donation of this space tonight. We also thank Layla Shanahan, Reed McStravick, and Olivia Rea, the student directors of the Community Center, for their support, and they will all speak to us a little bit later. Cam and Brad Crandall from DSTV for the usual excellent video and audio support. And James Arena DeRosa is here somewhere. He's our state rep. There he is. You'll hear from him as well. Jackie Morris, town clerk, for keeping us all in the straight and narrow. Pam Dowse, who served as clerk last year, and unless she escapes, will serve again this year. And our seasoned team of check-in clerks, Jeannie Guthrie, Marion Clancy, and Abby Fisk. Then with the tellers, we've got Sam Van Blarkum, Mason Kay, and Steve Petty. They are joined this year by a rookie teller, George Fisk. George is new to Caucus, so please be patient with him. And the 2024 Caucus Committee, unless they escape in the next hour, I'm hopeful that the current 24 Caucus Committee members, Sam Nelson of Lake Street and Meg Hyde of Mill Street, will re-up. They've been invaluable this year behind the scenes and have done far more than I have. I'm just the empty suit here at the lectern. So please join me now in a round of applause for all of the Caucus volunteers. All right, I'd like to invite James Arena DeRosa, our state rep, to speak for a moment.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. It's really such an honor to represent this town. I'm getting to know Sherborn. I'm getting to know many of you. I just want to say hello. I'm here. And please, if anybody needs anything from my office, please be in touch with me. I want to be as helpful as I can. I enjoy engaging with people on so many different issues. We have a lot of challenges in the state. But this town is doing really well, and I want to be as helpful as I can. So thanks. I'm going to stay because I like to listen. I like to hear what's going on and get to know everybody. So I'll be here the whole night. And if you want to say hello afterwards, that would be great. And I am running for re-election, so thanks to everybody who signed my papers. It's great to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
Okay, and now the student directors of the Sherborn Community Center, please.
Thank you, Mr. Novak, and good evening. My name is Layla Shanahan, and I'm a student director here at the Sherborn Community Center. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone here to the 2024 Sherborn Town Caucus. Tonight's venue is located in one of Sherborn's finest historic buildings. This building was built in 1858, and after 165 years of existence, it continues to thrive as a gathering place for all members of the community. The Sherborn Community Center Foundation is a nonprofit organization that manages and maintains this building. We are 100% self-funding and receive no money from the town, meaning that the foundation receives no tax-related support. We rely solely on the rental income and membership donations to maintain and manage this beautiful historic jewel. Since the inception of the Student Director Program, we have held dances, game nights, movie nights, Jammin' in Red, which is a special night where high school musicians perform for a high school audience, and the even popular Vote and Donate. One of our largest assets is the volunteer board made up of dedicated adults along with 4 dedicated and very enthusiastic students who devote their time and energy to make the Sherborn Community Center a safe place for everyone, as well as for our high school students to hang out. I am very proud and excited to be part of this organization, and now I would like to introduce you to one of my fellow student directors, Reed McStravick.
Thank you, Layla. Again, my name is Reed McStravick, and I also am a student director here at the Sherborn Community Center. I would like to take a moment to reflect upon the Sherborn Community Center's mission statement. It states, to promote a sense of community by ensuring that this community center is available to and used by Sherborn groups and organizations at minimal or no cost. Preserve, maintain, and schedule the use of and to fund, preserve, maintain, and schedule the use of this historic building. Tonight, I am proud to report that after 39 years since the foundation rebuilt and took over the operations of this building, we will continue our mission to be a place for everyone. And now, I'd like to introduce you to my fellow student director, Olivia Rea.
Thank you, Reed. As he said, my name is Olivia Rea, and on behalf of the 350th Celebration Steering Committee, I would like to share some important information with you. The objectives for the 350th are to offer memorable celebrations for everyone, to provide a chance to share our rich history, and to encourage community engagement and pride. We invite you all to be a part of this year-long celebration of Sherborn as we learn more about our past and look ahead with pride to our future. Recently, volunteers have been busy working on an exciting calendar of events. The Year of Celebration offers something for everyone. And if you're interested, please check out the website sherborn350.org to get involved and learn more. Again, I thank all of you for coming to our community center and participating in this important political process. I wish all of the candidates luck this evening. Thank you.
All right, now we're on to the main event. Ground rules. Sherborn Town Caucus is a non-partisan event. Like town meeting, it is a citizen's chance to participate in democracy at its most granular. Volunteers, sorry, I always like this part. Volunteer service has been the lifeblood of small towns in New England for 400 years. And every qualified volunteer is needed to solve Sherborn's many challenges. So if you care about your town at all, please, please be part of that solution. Just like town meeting, we come together as citizens and leave as neighbors. That means no clapping, no booing, interrupting, shouting insults, or other behaviors you might have learned watching the 2024 campaign primaries. It's the same joke every year, and yet it's still true. Turning serious, if you are nominating someone, please approach the microphone and wait to be recognized by the moderator. Start with your name and address. Any speeches can and should be very short, 1 to 2 minutes. We'd all love to know a little bit about the nominee as a local citizen and why they would fit the office, but the details of their college thesis and their life growing up in a log cabin, of course, are best suited to another venue. Being the caucus nominee only puts you on the ballot for town election, this year for May 14th. But if you're not the caucus nominee, you can still run. Let's say you wake up tomorrow morning seized with an overpowering urge to create a contested race for cemetery commissioner. You can still, it happens, you can still get nomination papers from the town clerk through March 22nd and file them by March 26th. I note that we have more than 25 voters here tonight, and accordingly a quorum is present. I will now read the caucus call. This is the part that's a little more like hog calling than democracy. Town Caucus Call. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 53 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, amendments thereto, if any, caucus of the registered voters of the town of Sherborn is hereby called to be held at the Sherborn Community Center, Sherborn, Massachusetts, on Thursday, March 7, 2024, at 8 p.m. for the purpose of nominating candidates with various town offices to be filled at the annual town meeting to be held on Tuesday, May 14, 2023, to elect a town caucus committee and transact any other business that may legally come before the meeting. The meeting will be called to order by a member of the town committee. The checklist of registered voters will be used. Town Caucus Committee: Richard S. Novak, Margaret L. Hyde, Samuel H. Nelson. Whew. Fortunately, we only have to read that once. All right, next we need a caucus clerk. I ask for nominations for the position of caucus clerk for the 2024 Town Caucus. Yes, in the back.
Meg Hyde, 23 Mill Street. I nominate Pam Dowse to be caucus clerk.
All right. Pam Dowse, right here. All right, are there any, Pam Dowse has been nominated. Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations for the highly coveted position of caucus clerk? All right, hearing none, I declare the nomination closed and will entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Pam Dowse to serve as clerk. So moved. Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Invite the clerk to come up. You get to hold the gavel. Very important.
Now we need a moderator to run town caucus. This is usually a hard-fought race. You can tell I didn't write this. I hereby ask for nominations for the position of moderator for the 2024 town caucus.
Meg Hyde, 23 Mill Street. I nominate Rick Novak for caucus moderator.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Nobody? Okay. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed and will entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Rick Novak to serve as moderator. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Yay. Opposed say nay. Nobody said nay. Motion carries. Thank you so much.
I'm reminded that those of you seized with that overpowering urge to create a contested race for cemetery commissioner or any other office can get nomination papers from Jackie Morris, who's right here tonight. So it's very easily done. All right. Just get organized here. First up is the position of moderator, town moderator. Position filled recently by Mary Wolf, very well for very years. She's decided not to re-up. Are there any nominations for the position of town moderator? Yes, ma'am.
Claire Graham, 208 South Main Street. I'd like to nominate Mike Jimo.
And if Mike is here, will you stand? Okay.
Mike and his wife, Deb Gefeller, have lived in Sherborn for 33 years and raised their 3 girls here. Mike's a land use lawyer and partner at Robinson and Cole. And for those who don't know, Mike served 6 years on the select board, 4 as chair, which ended in 2019. And before that, he spent 10 years as chair of the zoning board and 6 years on the planning board, 4 as chair. And for those reasons, I'd like to nominate Mike.
All right. And is there a second for Mike Jimo for moderator? Second. All right. Are there any other nominations for the position of town moderator? All right, I don't see any. All right. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed and will entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Mike Jimo to serve as town moderator. So moved. Is there a second? So moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Michael Jimo. Can you please sign the acceptance? Meg Hyde will hunt you down. Next up, Select Board. One position currently held by Marianne Neutra. Are there any nominations? Yes, sir, in the back.
Mr. Moderator, Jeff Waldron, 8 Surrey Lane, and I would like to nominate incumbent Marianne Neutra. She's, as people know, a very well-regarded Harvard Medical School professor, biomedical scientist. She's has 30 years teaching graduate students. She served on, she's head of the Harvard Digestive Disease Center, chair of committees at the NIH, WHO, Gates Foundation, research boards. She's served 3 years on select boards. She was on Open Space Committee. She was on the planning board forever. She helped create the master plan for the town and the open space and recreation plan. Other than that, she hasn't done much.
Okay. Despite that lackluster review, is there a second? There's a second. Okay, are there any other nominations for the position of Select Board? All right. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed and will entertain a motion that the clerk class one board vote for one ballot for Marianne Neuter to serve as a member of the select board. So moved. Moved and seconded. All right. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations, Marianne. Can you please sign the acceptance? Meg will find you. All right. Town collector, we don't do that anymore. Town assessors, we don't do that anymore. Sherborn School Committee, 3 years, two slots. This will be the first slot unless it's contested, in which case we'll run an election. Yes, in the back, please.
Hello. My name is Becca Hammond. I live at 10 Brook Street, and I am thrilled to be here tonight to nominate Megha Kadiala. Megha has lived in Sherborn for 9 years with her husband Vivek and her 2 sons Vahan, who is 10 and in 5th grade, and Arvin, who is 8 and in 2nd grade, both at Pine Hill. She's been involved in the Sherborn community for many years, as a board member for the Friends of the Sherborn Library, as a co-chair of the Metco Family Friends, and most recently as the co-president of the Pine Hill CSA. Megha also works full-time as the SVP of Product Management for Inclara Pharmacia, a hospice pharmacy. Megha and her family enjoy all the things that Sherborn has to offer and are also heavily involved. Her husband coaches multiple elementary sports teams, soccer and lacrosse to name a few. Both her kids enjoy farm pond and swim for the Sherborn Snappers over the summer, and her family tries to volunteer or attend all the wonderful events that happen across Sherborn. Megha feels proud to be part of the Sherborn and Pine Hill community and fully aligns with the values of collaboration, community, diversity, respect, and accountability. She is passionate about ensuring that our schools are a place for every type of student to thrive, regardless of their interests, aptitude, or abilities. She is committed to fostering open communication, transparency, and dialogue between the Sherborn community and the school committee, and ensuring we are all united in our goal to do the best for our children. She's excited to run for one of the open spots on the Sherborn School Committee and serve the community. Thank you.
Great. Is Megha here tonight? Hi. And Megha, can you give us the spelling of your name correctly, just so that Pam gets it? Kadiala. Okay, got it. All right. Are there any other nominations for Sherborn School Committee? Yes.
There are. I come forward with 2. Is that okay, or should I do one at a time?
You can do 2 together. And,
Okay.
and you are?
I'm Christine Walsh, and
Okay.
I live at 6 Bridle Path. And
Yep.
it's wonderful to be here with everyone tonight. I love seeing this crowded room filled with excited individuals. The first person that I nominate tonight is a gentleman named Nathaniel Jackson, who lives in Sherborn with his wife Kelly and their 3 children. Professionally, Nathaniel is an airline pilot flying internationally with FedEx Express. The family moved to Sherborn in 2020, and all 3 children attend Pine Hill Elementary. Nathaniel is active in the community and serves in many professional efforts and civic organizations. You'll often find Nathaniel and Kelly with their kids at Farm Pond, or Nathaniel supporting Kelly in her professional career. He is a veteran, having served in the United States Air Force and Rhode Island Air National Guard. He is an active member of the Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals, working to help diversify the aerospace industry. The Experimental Aircraft Association, which promotes safe recreational flying and student outreach for aviation enthusiasts as well. He is active in his church, where he serves on the leadership team and music ministry. He plays bass guitar. Academically, Nathaniel holds deep investment in education for STEM, literature, music, the arts, and the Metco program, where he is an active volunteer host parent. Nathaniel is very excited about the opportunity to serve the community as a member of the Sherborn School Committee, and is looking forward to serve the people of Sherborn and the families that entrust Pine Hill with their children's education. Personally, in speaking with Nathaniel, I was moved and inspired by the fact that he recognizes that each child has a gift with great potential, and he is eager to help the children find that great potential within themselves. He is a champion for children.
And is Nathaniel here tonight?
He is.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very much.
My,
Okay,
my
next.
second,
Yep.
my second nomination, I nominate Amy Van Langren. Amy and her husband Tom have been residents of Sherborn for 8 years, with a daughter in 3rd grade at Pine Hill and a son preparing to attend ECDC next year. Amy strongly believes in the importance of public education in fostering critical thinking skills for children in an ever-changing world. With over 15 years of experience in communication, including leadership roles at Autodesk, Amy's current role includes ensuring leaders effectively communicate information, ideas, and decisions to their team, foster open dialogue for feedback, and build trust and credibility company-wide. Amy has actively contributed to her community by serving on the Friends of the Sherborn Library Board for 6 years, including 4 years as president, and on the Sherborn Recycling Committee for the same duration. Additionally, she volunteers during local and national elections, advocating for voter engagement through various organizations and as a poll worker. I met Amy about 4 years ago, and at that time she was the first volunteer at every single event I was at, and the last volunteer at every single event that I was at. The dedication that this woman shows to Sherborn, its community, and its children is deeply inspiring.
Okay,
Thank you for your time.
And is Amy here?
Amy's husband is here.
All right, and can you give us the correct spelling of your last name, please? Van Langen. Okay, great. And at the back. Oh, wait, is there, are there seconds for Nathaniel Jackson? Yes, and for Amy Van Langen? Seconds for both. Okay, yes. Sorry, just needed to clean that up. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Craig Oberly, and I have a nominee for the Sherborn School Committee. I live at 27 Deerfield Road here in Sherborn. I'd like to nominate Kate Manzolini for the Sherborn School Committee. Kate and her husband Jamie moved to Sherborn 4 years ago, and they live on Harrington Ridge Road. They have 3 young children: Elizabeth, who is in 1st grade at Pine Hill, Andrew, who is 4, and Emily, who is 1.5. Kate has an investment in the future of the Dover-Sherborn school system as her young family begins their educational journey, and she is fit to have a long-lasting commitment to a role as a school committee member. Kate works at John Hancock in Boston as a member of their leadership team in the technology area, where she oversees the delivery of technology to enable the business strategy. Being a female in the field of technology, Kate can add a unique perspective on the topics related to equity and inclusion. I feel lucky that Kate is a part of the Sherborn community, and I think she'll be a great add to the Sherborn School Committee.
Okay, and is Kate here tonight?
She is not. She's traveling on business tonight.
All right, and just can you give us the correct spelling of her last name?
Yes, it's Manzolini.
Okay. And are there any further, and is there a second for Kate? Okay, so there's a second for everybody, great. Okay. All right, we got 2 slots, 4 candidates. What I want everybody to do is take your, will you please label Mega A, Nathaniel B, Amy C, and Kate D. All right, what I want everybody to do, this is our first vote tonight, is take your blue voting slip. As you can see, we have designated Mega as A, Nathaniel as B, Amy as C, and Kate as D. Take 2 of those and give them to the tellers when they circulate. Sure. It's A, B, C, D. If you can't see up here, I can read it off again. But of the 4 first letters on your blue strip, on your blue voting strip, use those A, B, C's, and D's to select 2 of these 4. And the top 2 vote getters will have the slots. Yes, sir. A is Mega Kadelela. B is Nathaniel Jackson. C is Amy Van Langen. And D is Kate Manzolini. Everybody got it? You can read it again if you want. All right. Tellers, go get them. The results are in. First of all, at the back, you can let other people in now because the voting's over. And the winners are Mega and Nathaniel. So we thank Amy and Kate and remind them that they can take out nomination papers from Jackie Morris at any time if they're so interested, and she's right back there. Okay. Next up, trustees of Solomon Academy, 1 slot for 5 years. Current occupant William Scott Embry. Are there any nominations? Yes, in the back.
I'm Kaylin Embry, 36 Wildwood Drive. I'd like to nominate Scott Embry to the trustees of the Solomon Academy.
Okay.
Scott has served on numerous organizations and boards. He was most recently president of the Wellesley Swimming Association, formerly co-president of the Pine Hill CSA, and served on the Sherborn School Committee. Formerly an engineer in the auto industry, he continues to enjoy being the support staff for his now high school-aged kids. Elected to his first term in 2014, please support Scott to be the caucus nominee for re-election to a 3rd term as Solomon Academy trustee.
All right, and is Scott here tonight? Stand up, please, Scott. There he is. All right. Are there any further nominations? Is there a second for Scott? There's a second. Are there any further nominations for trustee of Solomon Academy? Going once, going twice. Okay. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We will entertain a motion that the clerk pass 1 ballot for Scott Embry to serve as trustee of Solomon Academy. I see a motion. Is there a second to that motion? I see it seconded. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay. Motion carries. Congratulations, Scott. Megan, go get him. All right. Next up, library trustees. 3 slots, 3 current incumbents. Are there any nominations for library trustee? Yes, sir, in the back.
Chris Kenny, 21 Farm Road. I'd like to nominate Mary McKenna.
Okay. You need not make a speech if you do not wish to, and that's fine. Is there a second for Mary McKenna? There is. Okay, there's a second. Are there any other nominations for the other 2 open slots of library trustee, for example?
Yeah. I'm Mary McKenna from 37 Woodland Street. I'd like to nominate Chris Kenny.
Okay. Is there a second for that? Okay. No speech. Thank you.
Brian Connolly from 9 Thoroughbred Lane. I'd like to nominate Sue Lepard to serve as her second 3-year term as library trustee. She moved to the town about 4 years ago and lives on North Main Street. Has a background in marketing and communication, was instrumental in having the library reopening after COVID, and also the ribbon cutting ceremony we did last year, and she provides great kind of mentoring and guidance to the other trustees as well as the library administrator.
Excellent. And Susan, are you here?
She's not here. She's traveling tonight.
Okay. All right. There's a second for that. And are there further nominations for library trustee?
Yes. I'm Mary Ann Clancy, and I live at 58 North Main Street, and I would like to nominate Alexandra Frank of 62 Maple Street for trustee. I had the pleasure of meeting Alexandra and her husband Maurizio, who is a doctor at Mass General, and they're at the time 9-year-old twin daughters when they moved from Pennsylvania and purchased a home about almost 2 years ago. I spent a great deal of time with Alexandra and the girls during their visits to the property. As an ex-teacher, I was quite impressed with the girls and their very sophisticated vocabulary and mature thought processes, and the fact that they arrived to the house visits with books in hand. I knew at that time that their parents must have been doing something right. Being unfamiliar with the area, Alexandra inquired about the many things, including our town library. I never mentioned the lengthy building process, but I did let her know that we were on the home stretch of it being completed. She was very excited and happy to hear that our town was putting forth such effort into expanding our library at a time when many communities were no longer focused on the value of libraries. She let me know how important the instrumental libraries had been both during her own childhood and while raising her children. She feels quite strongly that libraries provide a safe place to gather, share, and learn for all. Alexandra is a practicing veterinarian, which in my mind immediately makes her kind and obviously a very smart person. She has a uniquely interesting background, has been exposed to culturally diverse individuals throughout her lifetime. She is the granddaughter of a former Norwegian diplomat, and her husband is from Milano, Italy. In addition to having lived in Italy for a period of time, she has traveled extensively through many European countries and has had the opportunity to appreciate and experience so many of the diverse cultures. Although English is her primary language, Alexandra also speaks French, Italian, and Spanish. While her cultural, academic, and professional background will undoubtedly contribute to her being a valuable addition to the current trustees, I absolutely cannot end without mentioning her boundless energy, her spirit, her enthusiasm, her sense of humor, and without a doubt, her ability to get the job done. Please consider supporting Alexandra for library trustee.
All right, and is Alexandra here?
Yes.
Right there, okay. Thank you. All right, is there a second for, there is a second, okay, great. And are there other nominations for library trustee? Okay, so we got 4 for 3 here. We're going to make these people, instead of A, B, C, D, E, we're A, B, C, D. We're going to make them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember that E, blue E that you did not use? You're going to use it now. We're going to make Mary number 1, Chris number 2. I understand. Just go with me. I'll explain it. No, we're not doing that. No, because that'll use up all the votes. So we're not using your yellow. We're using your single blue E. No. Sorry.
Oh, there's only one person.
What you're going to do is write on your E slip. Please. You're going to write on your E slip numbers. You're going to write 3 numbers of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to take the highest vote. The reason why we're doing that is because we need to preserve the yellow slips for later. So Mary is 1, Chris is 2, Sue is 3, and Alexandra is 4. So write on your blue slip your top 3 choices there. No, but by number. So for example, if you wanted only the last 3, you would write 2, 3, 4. If you wanted the first 3, you'd write 1, 2, 3. And the tellers will sort it out, but only vote on this blue slip. We have the votes for the library trustees. They're being put up now. Okay. Mary McKenna, Christopher Kenny, Susan Leopard are our successful caucus candidates. Remember that anyone else who wants to run, Jackie's right at the back of the room with the papers, and you can see her anytime between now and I think I said it was the 22nd, whatever it is. It's on town thing. All right, so congratulations. Next up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Mary McKenna, Christopher Kenny, and Susan Foley are the successful caucus candidates for library trustees. Anyone else can run. And Jackie Morris is at the back with the papers, plus you can pick them up at the town clerk's office. Next up, Water Commissioner, one slot, current incumbent is Frank Hess. Are there any nominations for Water Commissioner?
Yes, Tara Horahan, 78 South Main Street, and I nominate Frank Hess. Frank has lived in town for 60 years and has had 3 kids and 2 grandkids go through the school system. After retiring from a 39-year teaching and administrative career, he has served 6 years on the Sherborn School Committee. 2 of those he was chair. During his time on the school committee, he initiated necessary improvements to the condition of the school water tank, and Frank was also a very vocal promoter of the Pine Hill Road extension. During his time spent as a teacher association president, administrator, and school committee chair, he worked as a problem solver and negotiated contracts from both sides of the table. During his time as a water commissioner, an exploratory well was drilled and initially tested, and Frank works with the other commissioners, including myself, to act as a research and advisory group on water and wastewater topics.
Great. And is there a second for Frank? There is a second. Okay. And are there other nominations for water commissioner? Praise be. All right. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed, and we'll entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Frank Hess to serve as water commissioner. Is there such a motion? There is such a motion. Is there a second? There is a second. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, Frank. Can you sign the acceptance? Megan, go get them. Okay. Next up, cemetery commissioner.
Bet you're all waiting for this one. My name is Chucky Blaney, 11 Hollis Street, and I nominate Ellen Heffron, and I don't do speeches.
Awesome. All right. Is there a second for Ellen? Oh, first of all, is Ellen Heffron here?
I don't know if she was going to try. I don't know if she got here.
All right. She doesn't have to be. Is there a second for Ellen Heffron? There's a second. Okay. Are there any other nominations for cemetery commissioner? Of course, you can all line up to get petitions from Jackie. Okay, there are none. All right. So it's been moved. It's been seconded. No other nominations. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We'll entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Ellen Heffron to serve as cemetery commissioner. There is such a motion. Is there a second? There is a second. All right. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations. Megan, you're going to have to chase Ellen down outside the meeting because she's not here. Planning board. We have two different slots for planning board. A 3-year term, current incumbent William Dunham, and then a 2-year term, a stub term for the former chair, Chris Owen. And we're going to do the 3-year full term first. We don't run these together because they're not really the same. One's a 2, one's a 3. So are there any nominations for a 3-year position on the planning board? Yes, in the back.
Susie Wheelwright, 137 Hunting Lane. It's my pleasure to nominate Jim Gorino of 60 North Main Street. He is an 11-year resident of Sherborn. He's a registered architect by profession. He's worked with the planning process of the Boston Planning and Development Agency, large urban projects to smaller local projects, including several public schools. His experience in town has been on the Historical Commission and the Historic District Commission for 7 years. And we have found in working with him that he is thoughtful, respectful, and collaborative. He would like to use his considerable skills to support the goals of Sherborn citizens as we go forward toward responsible development. I would ask you to vote for Jim Gorino.
Great. And Jim, are you here? There's Jim. Great. Okay. Is there a second for Jim? There's a second for Jim. Okay. Excuse me. And asthma, not COVID, by the way. Are there any further nominations for the 3-year slot on the planning board?
Yes. Addie Mae Weiss, 1 Jackson Road. I would like to nominate Stephanie Harrison for the 3-year position on planning board. And I had to flip a coin with Marian Neutra for the honor of nominating Steph, and nearly had to arm wrestle Frank Hoke for the honor. So Stephanie is very well liked and has done a lot on planning board. She and her family moved to town in 2018. They have 3 kids at Pine Hill, kindergarten, 2nd and 4th grade. Immediately upon moving to Sherborn, she got involved in the planning board as our minutes taker, and The only drawback with her running is we potentially lose an incredible minute taker, but that's, the least of our problems. And since 2018, she has attended every single planning board meeting with maybe one, and I couldn't even tell you when she wasn't there. Through her background and her education is more than suited. She has 2 bachelor's degrees from MIT, degree in urban studies and planning, and a degree in environmental engineering from MIT, a master's degree in civil engineering from UC Berkeley, and has a professional engineering license in the state of Massachusetts. She does, for her professional work, she works on flooding, floodwater management, groundwater, stormwater issues. There are all of these things that the planning board is responsible for understanding with the MS4 permit, and there are, through the years, many times when we are discussing issues, and because of the number of years that she has followed issues, is able to recall things that have been discussed in the past, as well as add some valuable insight from her engineering experience. So I thoroughly support Stephanie Harrison, and I hope you will too.
Is there a second for Stephanie Harrison? Yes. And is Stephanie Harrison here? Right there. Please stand up. Okay. Are there any further nominations for the 3-year slot on the planning board? Okay. Hearing none. Okay. All right. We're going to have to vote this. Please take your yellow voting slip. We're going to make Jim is going to be F, Stephanie is going to be G. Turn in 1, not both. Votes are in. Stephanie Harrison wins the 3-year term. Next up, the 2-year term, the stub term. Are there any nominations for the stub term? Yes, in the back.
Still Susie Wheelwright. Still Jim Guarino. He's a great guy. Give him your vote.
All right. Excellent second speech. Is there a second for Jim? There is a second. Are there any further nominations for the 2-year slot on the planning board? Oh, okay. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed and will entertain a motion that the clerk cast 1 ballot for Jim Guarino to serve as a 2-year term on the planning board. Second? Moved, seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. You guys have it. Congratulations, Jim. Please sign the acceptance. Okay. This one's mine. It's okay. Next up, Dover-Sherborn Regional School Committee, 3-year term. Are there any nominations?
Hi, my name is Judy Miller, and I live at 31 Great Rock Road, and I am thrilled and honored to nominate Toa Ash to take the seat that I am vacating on the Dover-Sherborn Regional School Committee. Toa has been a resident of Sherborn since 2010. Her 2 kids have benefited from the great school system, one having graduated in 2016 and the other about to graduate in 2026. As a result, Toa has become acquainted with support and the input needed for the growth and upkeep of our system. Over time, she has steadily grown her involvement in the community, first with various events at Pine Hill, and then roles in the middle school Positive and the high school PTO. And I served with her on a committee on the school council at the middle school, and she was terrific. She's also strived to address the needs for diversity through initiatives under the banner of DS Aid. She is an active member of SPAN DS and acutely aware of the need to keep our kids and young adults with their impressionable minds safe in an increasingly distracted world. Toa trained as an engineer and understands the rigor required for STEM education. She then followed her passion to become an industrial product designer and a certified human factors professional. Toa learned the value of hard work early, and this has contributed to her family's success. Her strong belief in self-sufficiency and balance in life gives her the drive to take on the many community projects she supports. While her active high schooler, who is also an aspiring Eagle Scout, keeps her busy with many commitments, Toa still finds time to engage with life in our beautiful community of Sherborn. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll support her.
And is Toa here tonight? Great. Okay. Thank you for saying. And is there a second? There is a second for Toa. Okay. And are there other nominations for Dover Sherborn Regional School 3-year term? All right. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We'll entertain a motion that the clerk cast one ballot for Toa Ash to serve as Dover Sherborn Regional School Committee member. There's a motion here. There's a second there. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Congratulations, Toa. Okay. Board of Health. 2 3-year terms. So they're equal, and therefore we'll run them together. Are there any nominations for a 3-year term on the Board of Health? Yes, sir, in the back.
Sure. Matt Vitale, 1 Mill Street. I'm happy to have the opportunity to nominate Steve Constantine for a position on the Board of Health. By way of context, I've nearly recovered from my own 6 years on the board, and so I have a framework to think about the traits and competencies that best serve the role. On Board of Health, one reviews everything from large-scale real estate projects to rabies vaccine exemptions for geriatric giant schnauzers. And everybody who's before the board believes that the issues they're bringing to the board are ones that are important and matter to them deeply. The expectation that people have when they come to the board is that their concerns will be appropriately considered through thoughtful deliberation and reasonable decision-making that still protects public health and safety. On reviewing Steve's background, it is clear that he has all the ingredients for an excellent member of this board. He has a demonstrated ability to synthesize and communicate complex technical information, as demonstrated by his master's degree from BU in Information Systems and his work life in finance and technology. He has a long history in Sherborn, first moving here in 1992 and having the good sense to return in 2011. His sons, of whom he is immensely proud, are both products of DS. He's also demonstrated a pattern of civic engagement reflected most recently in his participation on the groundwater protection and land acquisition committees. On a more personal note, in 6 years on the board, I never saw a more thoroughly prepared applicant than when he came before us to discuss the replacement system for the Elliott Taylor House on North Main, bringing with him years of public water testing data in the surrounding public water supplies. So I hope you'll agree with me that we'd be lucky to have someone as conscientious and capable as Steve, benefiting all of us through his service on the Board of Health, and we'll vote accordingly. Thank you.
Okay. And Steve Constantine, are you here sitting over there? There he is. Okay. Is there a second for Steve? There is a second. Okay. Are there other nominations for the 2 3-year slots on the Board of Health? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am Kelly Aducci, 46 Greenwood Street, and I'd like to nominate Stephen Wazalowski. Steve and his family moved to Sherborn in 2020. He and his wife Meredith have a 10-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son. Steve is the Vice President of Medicinal and Computational Chemistry at Xenon Pharmaceuticals and is well regarded in his field. He has a PhD in chemistry and received the top award for his dissertation at the University of Georgia and completed his postdoc at Yale. In his spare time, Steve coaches his daughter's basketball team and enjoys working in his yard, which frankly looks much better than mine. He cares deeply about the town, its green spaces, and ecology. I have no doubt that Steve will prioritize the health and safety of Sherborn's residents and will make a great addition to the Board of Health, and I'm happy to nominate Steve tonight.
All right. Is Steve Wazalowski here? Right there. All right. Is there a second for Steve Wazalowski? Yes, there is a second. Okay. And are there any other nominations for the 2 3-year slots on the Board of Health? Yes, ma'am.
Still Susie Wheelwright. I would like to nominate the incumbent, Rebecca Honeywell, MD, for a fourth term. Still Rebecca, still watching out for the water, watching out for the environment, looking for a smart way to develop that does not endanger our natural resources and the public health of our citizens and those who will come after us in any sort of development in town. She's lived in Sherborn for 25 years. As I said, this is her fourth term on the Board of Health, and she always wants to defend the water, your water, my water, and the water of those who move into Sherborn after us.
All right. And Rebecca, are you here? She doesn't have to be here. Okay. Is there a second for Rebecca? Okay. You have 3 slips left on your yellow card. They should be HIJ, right? We'll make Steve H, Steve C H, Steve Wesolowski I, and Rebecca Honeywell J. So you're going to put in 2 out of those 3. And I'll read it again. Steve Constantine is H, Steve Wesolowski is I, and Rebecca Honeywell is J. Put in 2 and only 2. Put in 3, you have to do something George Fisk picks for you. Results are in on Board of Health. Steve Constantine, 59. Stephen Wesolowski, 70. Rebecca Honeywell, 39. The Steves are the caucus nominee. Now I'll find out if I gamed the number of ballots correctly. Recreation Commission, 3 years. I better see only 1 nomination for this. No, that's a joke for the record. We could have 10 nominations. There's a backup plan. We'll deal with it. Yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate 10 people, please.
Go right ahead. And your name and where you live?
I'm Gavin Mish from 29 Cider Hill, and I have 1 nominee, and it's Jim Drews. Jim has 4 kids in the school system here in Sherborn. He's been a very active part of the sports here in town. He would be an excellent nominee for the Recreation Commission. Thank you.
Great. And do we have his spelling correctly up on the board? D-R-E-W-S?
It's D-R-E-W-S.
E-W-S. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. And is he here tonight?
He's not.
He doesn't have to be here tonight. Is there a second? There's a second. Okay. Are there any further nominations for the position of Recreation Commission? No. Yes. Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We'll entertain a motion that the clerk cast 1 ballot for Jim Drews to serve as Recreation Commissioner. There's a motion. There's a second. All right. Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Get there. Congratulations. Megan, you'll have to hunt him down. Okay. Almost done. Almost done. Just a little bit. 3 last steps. May I please have a motion empowering the 2024 Sherborn Town Caucus Committee to fill any vacancy occurring as a result of a caucus nominee dying, withdrawing, or becoming ineligible prior to the election. There is such a motion. Is there a second? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. May I please have nominations for 3 members for an exalted 2025 Caucus Committee? Someone has to go to the back and nominate candidates. That'd be fine.
Well, I'd like to nominate the 3 members who are currently serving.
And who are you, sir, and where do you live?
Paul Dorensis, South Main Street, Sherborn, Massachusetts. There you go. The 3 members, Hyde, Novak, and
Nelson. All right, 3 current members. Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Well, first of all, are we here? Yes, we're here. Here we are. That's us. Is there a second for that motion? Second. Moved and seconded. Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. We win again. I would be very pleased and grateful for all of your time, but very pleased to entertain a motion to adjourn Town Caucus. Moved. Seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay? Have a great evening. Thank you. Too bad. You lose. Have a great evening. Thank you all very much.